Hey guys, Tristan here, and today I'll be showing you how to replace the internal gears of a Traxxas 2055 and 2056 steering servos. Now, just forewarned, this is mainly for just the 2055 and 2056 servos. You can use this video to have an idea of what it's like to replace the internal gears of a 2070 or 2075 steering servos or any of the other Traxxas servos. Now each one's slightly different, so that's why I say this is mainly for these two servos, but you can use this video for the others. With that said, let's move on into it. You are going to need Traxxas part number 2053. This is the replacement gears and bushings for the Traxxas 2055 and 56 servos. Now you can't use, this is specifically for these servos. You cannot use these parts for, say, the 2075 or other servos. As well as you're going to need a small Phillips head screwdriver and some white lithium grease. Before I do anything, I'm going to center this servo. That's easily done by taking the wire, plugging it into channel 1 of a receiver on any of your RCs. Let me just get there just like that. Then you're going to turn it on. You're going to take your transmitter, turn that on, and then you're going to set your steering trim to exactly 0. You're going to just turn it off, power this down, and unplug the servo, and you're ready to go. All you have to do to open up the servo is to remove the 4 screws on top with that Phillips head screwdriver. Now with the 4 screws removed, we can now pull this cap off, which you'll see the motherboard that controls everything, and then you can pull the bottom of the casing off. This you'll have to jiggle out because some things will get stuck, such as that, which we can just pop that gear right on off. It kind of doesn't want to come off, so you'll have to work it out. Come on, come on. There we go. As you can see, we got the bushings up there, which we will also have to pop out. We can also remove the remaining gears that are left in the thing. You can also take out this little rod just to make it easier. Now, before I do anything with the servo, I'm going to take all of our new gears and I'm going to put a light coat of white lithium grease on all of them. With all the gears greased, we can now move on to reassembly. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these brass bushings with the crowned end facing downward onto the gear. Push that down. Then we're going to take the other silver bushing, and this goes right in the groove just like that. And then followed by a little seal. And then we're going to do the same with the bottom. It's also going to get one of these metal and brass bushings facing downwards, so you have the brass crowned end facing down to what will be the bottom of the gear. There we go. A little force to get in there. So now we are ready to reassemble all these gears. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to remove this little pin, and I find it easier if you slide the pin into the center of this gear and just ease it into its spot just like that. Now this followed by this gear right here, which should go right on top just like that and meshes with the smaller gear. Then we put in this gear, which goes inverted and straight down in the center post once again. And then finally we take this gear, which actually I should have put this on first. So when you put this gear on, there is kind of like a dead zone, if you can feel it. Stops there, stops there. So what you're going to want to do is pop it off and just set it like that. That way this little knob right here is facing forward for when it is centered. So you just want to center that where that's facing completely forward. That way it is centered, with the servo. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the final gear, which I had put on before, but realized I should have waited. And I'm going to slide it in place. There we go. And now all we got to do left is take the top, slide that into place, just like that, and then put the cover back on, then reinstall the 4 screws that hold it together, and then we are done. And that is how you replace the internal gears of a Traxxas 2055 and 2056 servo. Now, the only difference that you'll see when you're replacing one on a 2055 than a 2056 is there won't be that little seal that sits on top of the bushings that went up here. That's the only difference. But other than that, guys, it's the exact same for the 2055 and 2056. Now, if you look at here at the instruction they gave you, as you can see, there is slight differences in every one. Some of them have bushings, and a lot of times they're somewhat different geared, as like the 2070 and 75 actually have bearings in the servo, whereas only the 2018 and 2055 have bushings. So there's key differences like that you'll see. Other than that, they're fairly similar. Sometimes you might see slightly different geared depending on the motor, but overall they'll work fairly similar. So that's why I said you can use this video for any of the other servos. Just remember, they're not going to be identical. There are going to be slight variations. With that said, guys, thanks for watching. I'll check you out next time.